Hey guys, Chapter 5, Section 5 video here for you. That is if you're using the same book we are in class. And our essential question is, what types of slopes do lines have? So hopefully you've watched some prior videos and you know slope is a measurement of a line. It's to figure out how steep is the line. But we're going to start looking at really specific lines and getting that exact measurement. So here's how we're going to do it today. We're going to build a big graph. You're going to need a ruler. You're going to need your graph paper, and you're going to want to make it nice and neat because we are going to be plotting each and every one of these points that you see on the screen, A, B, C, D, E, and F. And we're going to be labeling them very neat and nice. In fact, you even might want some colored pencils or a colored pen to coordinate this a little bit. So grab your ruler and let's set up a big graph. I'm going to go like 10 by 10. So I'm going to count up to positive 10 and down to negative 10, and I'm going to label that scale. And I'm going to do the same thing on the x-axis. I'm going to go out to positive 10 and back to negative 10. You know, if I go fast, you can totally pause the video. In fact, I'm actually going to encourage you right now to pause the video and plot all of your points on the graph and then check and see if you did it correctly. So why don't you do that now? Hit your pause button and start setting this up. Okay, so hopefully your graph is all done and you're ready to just double check your points. Here they are. Each of them are labeled. A is at -3 and 6. There's B, C, D, E, and F. And I kind of color coordinated it a little bit too. Okay, so what are we going to do with all of these points? Well, we're going to start connecting them to make some lines. And when we do that process, we're going to go through some steps. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect points A and B. Grab a ruler, draw a really nice, neat line that connects A and B together. And then let's study that line up close. One of the things you'll do when you're in a high school geometry class is you will label your lines. One way of doing this is calling it line AB. We draw this little arrow above AB, and we read it out loud as line AB. And so line AB has a slope. All we got to do is make that growth triangle we've learned about. And we got to measure what we call the rise and the run. So we're going to make a big growth triangle connecting A to B, and then we're going to figure out what is this rise and run. So it looks like, how many units down does the rise go? It looks like it goes down 2 units. So we're going to say -2 because it's going down. Negative indicates the downwards direction. How many units is our run? If you count the units, it looks like it's 6 units. So we've got this rise and run of -2 and 6. I'm going to write that down now. Rise over run equals -2 over 6. And we could stop there, but I'm going to go one step farther and I'm going to simplify my fraction now. I'm going to divide top and bottom by 2. I think I forgot to write that 2 there. And we're going to get -1/3 is our slope. So we got -1 over 3. We've got the slope of our first line. Okay, so now grab a ruler. We're going to connect points E and F together. E and F are going to connect, and we're going to measure the slope of that line by making a growth triangle. And off to the side, I'm going to write line EF, and then we're going to make that triangle and measure that rise and run. So very carefully look at your graph because we should be matching on this. What is our rise and our run? Now the rise looks like it's going down again. I'm counting down 2. And the run looks a little smaller than the last one. It looks like 5. So our rise over run looks like it's -2 and 5. We're going to write that down. Rise over run equals -2 over 5. That's a fraction we cannot simplify. -2/5 doesn't divide down. So we're going to leave it just like that. All right, one more. Grab our ruler. We're going to connect points C and D together. There's a pretty steep line going in the upwards direction, and we're going to make a growth triangle for that one. We'll write it off to the side, line CD. And our triangle, our rise and run, is going to look something like this. So our job is to count the units. What is our rise and our run? The rise looks like it's going up, I think, let's see, count carefully. It looks like 4 units, and our run looks like it's only going over 1 unit. I'm using all positive numbers because the line's going upwards, and I'm going to write rise over run equals 4 over 1. But what is 4 divided by 1? That simplifies down to just 4. So the slope of that line is a slope of 4. Pretty steep slope, pretty big slope number. All right, guys, so just a big takeaway from this video is I want you getting comfortable with the growth triangle, measuring that rise and that run, because we get that fraction of rise over run and we have a number to represent that slope. Positive slope goes up and negative slope goes down, but really slope and growth are the same thing. Do not forget, slope and growth are the same thing. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.